We ended up April 2000. We were in Westlands, and we had our opening ceremony, but that opened a new door for us, and
As
also for Reverend Ambrose in terms of leadership style, also opened for him a new season.
And for you?
Yes, and for me as well.
Because your roles changed, because now you're in a new locality.
Yes.
Of course, the membership grew.
And also with the membership growing and the kind of congregation you have, the level of education and everything else, dynamics change. So we realized, and again, thank God for Reverend Ambrose, it was time to start strategic plans. The thing we didn't have in the 90s. We were spontaneous.
So from spontaneity to now
strategic planning. 5 year. You go to the records, you'll see them.
Yeah.
From the very amateurish one, of the first 5 years, we put it together. And it was based on 3 pillars. Yes.
You are the chair of that.
Yeah, together with Deacon Mwai.
Yes.
Yeah, Mwai, who is serving elsewhere right now. It was basically based on missions and discipleship and worship.
Those are the strategy.
Yeah, 3 pillars. Yeah, 3 pillars. And we put it together. It helped us at that time. Then we went to strategic plan 2, the second 5 years. So those 10 years, the first 10 years, we become more organized, and we realized to serve the world more effectively, and for effective stewardship, we needed to operate from a strategy and some form of structure. And if we are going to bring in more people, we needed to do that. And Reverend Ambrose guided us through that phase. Remember, these is the young men in 70s, Holy Spirit movement. 80s, itinerant everywhere with this, receiving everything from this parachurch organizations. Then suddenly leadership in the from 90 to 2000 in this amorphous, spontaneous kind of situation. Then suddenly we're in a big sanctuary. We have this wonderful, diverse congregation, very, very resourced, and and I said to take these guys forward, hey, we need strategy. Yeah. Yes. So that's where you'll notice we started having strategic plans, and then we started the small, before the Constitution, small group concept.
The house groups.
House groups. Yes. We said we can't manage this congregation unless we put them in small groups. And then that's when 2004, around there, we said we put our foot forward on the house group strategy.
And you are the champion for that.
Yeah. God has used us in unique ways over these days. Somehow, for me and Reverend Ambrose, there's a complementarity, if there's a word like that,
yes,
that God has given us that's amazing. I even don't understand it, but it just works. It's God. That's all I can say. So like the house groups now, we put them together. The other small groups, the Bible studies, and you came in.
Yeah, in the next decade, 2011.
Yes, but for the house groups.
Yes,
you remember?
for the house group.
Yeah, coordinator. And yes. So that was mounted around that time, the decade of 20 to 2010,
yes,
with the strategic plans. Yeah, and then of course budgeting processes and requisitions.
Because the money now is coming up.
Yes. Administrative arm of the church was now beginning to grow.
Wow.
In fact, if you look at year 80 to 2000,
80.
we were a very small team, staff. Yes, very small. Actually,
you, Pastor Ambrose, Triza, Kina Paul.
Yeah, Paul, Uganda. Leonida. Yes.
William.
Yes, William, yeah, who has left us. And among us who have also left us.
Yes.
A small team. But now, from year 2000, we started growing. Yeah, we had the administrative wing well positioned for stewardship and for support. Yeah, and we started recruiting now more pastors as we came along, because the youth wing was growing. Children's portfolio was also growing. And Reverend Ambrose, in his wisdom then, so we needed to put in all these people. We realized as we grew in the ministry, the need to devolve and delegate. And because of the servant heart, which I've described from the word go, or in Reverend Ambrose, he didn't see that he needed to do everything. There was need for others to start coming in. So that is a decade. Not only did we have strategic planning, admin grew, and also the other staff, the pastoral staff, started coming in. The next decade,
2010
to date.
to date.
That's how you came in.
There.
Yeah, okay.
So the spontaneity season birthed a number of things.
Yes. It was spontaneous, but even with its spontaneity, because God was in it all, there are key things that were birthed. In fact, our missionary movement, as we have it even to this date, was actually birthed within that 90 to 2000, the spontaneous time. Our discipleship movement was actually also birthed within that period, 90 to 2000, spontaneous movement. Somehow the Lord did it. And that's how you find we went to Endo, an unreached people group.
Yes.
We did Il Chamus in Marigat, Baringo. We did Muranga.
We did Muranga.
Yes.
Membly.
We did Membly, church planting. Gave us the basis in that spontaneous setting. And then the prayer movement was also very strong. 90 to 2000, the prayer movement, overnights, was very strong at that time. So even the strength of prayer also was birthed at that time. Discipleship, I know it operated from my office. Many of those things operated from my office. Missions, discipleship.
House group.
Yeah. The discipleship was also, materials were kept in my office. Yes, we didn't have a lot of facilities.
Yes.
So discipleship materials, everything organized from even equipment for missions.
In your office.
Yeah, these motors, what do you call them? Generators.
Yes.
Sometimes with petrol. Yeah, so it would smell in that office. But for some reason,
The small office that we have been
a
sharing.
very small office.
In between the toilet.
Between the toilet, yes.
And,
Yeah, on a corridor. And people used to mistake it for the toilet.
and they come to your office.
Yes, they end up in my office. They say, oh, sorry, Pastor. That's the way it was. But there were things that were birthed during that particular period.
Wow.
And from Pastor Ambrose is also with the limited resources operating from that base, but still having this great ministry. Now, 2000 to 2010, one of the other unique features there was the establishment of what was called Solomon Project, which was a facility put together for children's ministry. Later, the school ends up housed there. And there were people that were very key in that program and project then. And thank God for all of them. Those who really were from the foundations of the Solomon Project to building up to where it is. But all this happens because of the leadership that Reverend Ambrose was offering. And we operated by faith. That although we had come from, we have just finished a big sanctuary, shortly after that, by faith.
By faith.
And that's another feature of Reverend Ambrose. Faith. Yeah, faith. Oh, I'm telling you, just simply believing God, believing Him at His word, and trusting Him fully, we were able to put up that as well. By the way, there's a constitution.
Oh, in 2010.
2009. Oh, that decade also saw us put together
the constitution.
the constitution that we use
And
operating.
you chaired that constitution.
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Yeah, and Bob Nyanja was the co-chair. It took us a long time before we could actually all agree and have that document. But thank God the document came, and it helped us now delimit, like council with its responsibility, PDB, trustees, the way we are organized now.
Right now, yes.
Yes.
And that's the same one we use right now.
Yeah, it's the one we're using
Yeah.
up to this day.
Yeah.
So I know there are many things. There are so many things there's many I can't remember. But from 2010.
We'll stop there
Yeah.
as we wait for part 3, talking about the next decade from 2010 to date. How has Pastor Simon interacted, worked together with Reverend Ambrose? They have been together for 37 years, but this decade was very key as they work together in ministry. We'll see you. Goodbye. God bless.